Right, welcome back, and shortly we'll be speaking to Mutahi, or rather Chebet Mutahi, who'll be telling us about women in business. But before we do so, Grace Gandu is the proprietor of the Grams schools that operate in Nyeri and Nakuru counties. She now joins us with Martin Munene, who he's telling us on her journey as a woman in business in this country. Good afternoon, Martin. Take it away.
All right, a very good afternoon to you, Sam. And like you said, Madam Gandu is a proprietor of schools, and I want to have this conversation with her. Of course, we know schools are capital intensive, and of course, as a business that requires a lot of money, it has also been dominated by a lot of men, and we want to understand what she has done, why she chose this kind of business. Karibu sana. Welcome to Citizen TV. Kindly introduce yourself again and tell us why schools and what is it like for you as a lady in such an industry.
Oh,
I'll hold it for you. It's okay.
I'm Grace Gandu. I am in business. I learn schools. I'm the proprietor of Grams schools. They are 4 in number, and actually I have managed to learn these schools because I decided that as a lady I should go for what I can do best. In many times you find that some women will just wake up in the morning and probably they are not sure of what they can do. I evaluated myself, having done my master's in administration and planning, and I decided that the best thing I can do is to work in the education sector as a private or as a business lady. I want to say that there are so many opportunities in this sector. When a woman is in business, the first thing one has to know is that there are so many opportunities. One, you have to believe in your
Well, unfortunately, we appear to have lost that signal with Martin Munene speaking to Gandu there. But as soon as we're able to reconnect, we'll be getting back to that conversation. But in studio, I have Chebet Mutahi, who is the founder of Wazawazee, a leather goods brand in the country. And she says her mission is to mobilize existing creative communities to power scalable and sustainable business for the society we exist in. And I would want to break this down so that you can tell us what really inspired this sort of what I would call an inspiration to inspire a community.
Thank you for having me. My name is Chebet Mutahi, and I am a creative entrepreneur in the orange economy. I love fashion, I love luxury goods, and all along I've always wondered, why can't we normalize luxury or high quality? In fact, for us, it's not really luxury, it's quality. How can we normalize luxury? And on the flip side of that, we have a huge population of young unemployed youth that can easily be transformed into, if we organize them into creative forces, we can then create industries, and that goes across the board. We have the youngest population in the world, so how are we organizing our labor? And what I am trying to do is to organize labor in the creative industry to create high quality leather goods and much more. Yes, we started with leather goods, and that is what we are known for, but I would love to see a time, and COVID became that accelerator for how flexible are you as an entrepreneur. So that's in a nutshell what we try to do. Organize idle youth, train them, and have them part of our production line.
Maybe for us to understand, so how exactly are you doing this? Are you in different counties or different communities, or where exactly are you doing it?
Thank you for that big dream with the counties. But at the moment we're just in Nairobi, and it all came from a time when I was working in the development world as a consultant in access to finance, and which is ironic that I thought I was solving a problem, but actually access to finance remains a challenge, a big challenge. It's not the biggest challenge. If your ideas are not well organized, then even if you have $1 billion, you will not be able to use it, right? So but when I tried to make good clothes, actually I started by making clothes because I'd go to West Africa for work and I'd come back with all this fabric and be unable to just change it. That was like 8-9 years ago. Right now, I mean, there's a lot of spaces and people, entrepreneurs that can make for you amazing outfits. But back then, it was some guy somewhere, maybe on Bagathi Uko Kenyatta Market, and you keep coming back, your fabric keeps getting messed, it disappears. You're like, so I thought, okay, why can't we just organize how to make good clothes? Why do I have to think of, my sister is traveling and I give her some money and say, could you pick for me a few things? Why can't it be internal? So that is why I started to make clothes, because I would have fabric and I'd be stressed about making it into...
And so who are you selling to?
So actually, contrary to what expectations are that leather is mostly for export, actually we sell locally. Our biggest market is local, though we have had the chance, thanks to these local consumers that have taken the brand all over the world. Like someone has a bag. Actually now when people travel, remember before you'd be like, bring me a shirt. Now your friends in the US would be like, bring me a hoodie, bring me a shirt, bring me a bag. So now when Kenyans travel, they are extremely patriotic because they buy Kenyan and take to other people, and hardly do they come back with stuff from outside. So it's actually my biggest customer is Kenyan, and I dare say women.
Well, all right, and you spoke about access to finance, and that's interesting because when you look at different reports, they'll tell you of how challenging it is for startups, but also medium and what do we call them, SMEs, to access financing. Yeah. But also women also reporting those same challenges. So for you, what have you been doing so that at your own level you're able to access financing? But as you said, that you may have all the dollars that you may need, but you haven't organized your ideas. So what do you think is this that needs to be done to make it easier for financial institutions to support such startups? Well, first I think I would roll it back to how we are educated. No one teaches us about saving. It's by the way, there is no culture that we're not taught to be entrepreneurs. You're somehow told, actually now, thank you for working so hard in school, but there are no jobs, you need to be a job creator. It is oxymoronic that we expect these people who don't have those skills to suddenly be able to manage businesses, and then career and city council somehow show up. Like, why is this not taught in school, that how we handle taxes should be part of like our training? So first we need to scale, roll back and change how we prepare people to be entrepreneurs by giving them the basics. Right. Everyone, especially now, everyone is getting good grades, so it's going to be an even more competitive world. Like for my kids, I'm just like, wow, you really would need to be such an outlier 20 years from now to be successful, right? Right. So then now, I think access to finance, we are definitely better off, because, for example, there was a COVID fund from MasterCard, and you know, that helped. That helped. You were able to take advantage of that? Yes, I got 30,000, which I paid back. Wow. It was interest free. It was nice, but it didn't consider what really the scale of business you are. And then when there was a bigger COVID fund, they said, oh no, if you made more than 5 million, we can't help you. And I'm like, okay, at more than 5 million, I might have more employees. So what you're saying to me is then send them home. You know, like we are getting better. That I cannot say. We're now getting into venture capitalist space, angel investing. You know, there's this conversation that white-founded businesses are more funded. Actually, it's because they have a culture of looking for money in the first place. Okay. We don't, like, I didn't start talking to investors until very recently, because I'd be like, no, you want to take my business too? The other thing was that I'm waiting to get to a certain point that I need to make certain moves for me to access financing, when actually
with help early on. And there's free money for women, there's free money for young people, there's free money for innovators, tech money, like there's money. What I would encourage every person out there, find that money. It's there. I haven't accessed it personally because I didn't have that culture. It took me a long time to finally know that you can write a pitch deck and present it to a total stranger and they might buy into your idea.
Right.
So that culture, and that is what like a founder in New York now or Silicon Valley has from the beginning. Part of their business plan is how they're looking for
capital.
Funding. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Stay with us, but I want to take you back to Nyeri County, where Martin Munene is speaking to a lady by the name Gandu on what she's been able to do in the past few years, investing in the education sector. Martin Munene, you are having that conversation. Please carry on.
All right, thank you very much, Sam, and apologies for the technical hit. We go back to where we were. You were talking about opportunities available for ladies, especially in this industry. What has it been like for you, and what opportunities do you see there?
To do well in business, as a lady, it is good to package yourself nicely. You brand yourself well, so that you can competitively be in the market. You make sure that your strategies are well, they are good, and you can compete with anybody without fear of any intimidation. There are so many ladies who feel like, I cannot do well in business because of stereotypes. These women are supposed to be in the kitchen, women are supposed to be doing light jobs, women are supposed to be office messengers or do those light jobs. But I feel that we are equal the task. And even research has it that women are the best managers. Women are the best leaders. They can work smart. So once you package yourself well, like I have done, you strategize well, you brand yourself nicely for everybody in the market. I'm telling you, there is nothing like defeat. You find that this particular time is even the best for ladies in business in our country, because there are so many opportunities, but it is unfortunate that some ladies have not come to realize this. We have the 30% of every opportunity being given to ladies first. When you go even to the banks, you find that there are so many banks that are funding women. When you come even to other organizations like even table banking affairs and the like, there is a lot for women. But you find that at times women are not being sensitized on how they can reach this. Others have fears. They fear to venture in deep waters. They feel, oh, I have fears to fail. But I would call upon ladies that this is not the time to fear. It is the time to move on, because we are equal the task with men and do business and do them smart. One thing I know is that a woman can multitask. It is this woman who is rushing to the kitchen, this woman who is showing the child homework, this woman who is cooking a mother and the like. The same case when it comes to business. We can do a lot. You can manage your office well, you can manage your teachers well. At the same time, there is the digital platforms. You work a lot, you communicate here and there with all the relevant offices that can offer you as a business lady support. And I would tell women that they should not fear, knowing that women are also very good communicators. They are very effective in the way they communicate. Women are very compassionate. They are very good listeners. They are result-oriented, such that once a woman decides to do something, I am going to assure you that definitely there must be results. We feel that we are result-oriented. We have to do our best. We have to do all it takes to get good results. I also feel that these opportunities that are given by our government, I would call upon ladies that we make use of them, we exploit them, we make sure that we use them to the latter, because gone are the days that women were regarded as not equal, as cheap people, as not active. But we have proved to the world, amidst or among many other examples, that we can do leadership, we can do business, and do it to the best.
All right, thank you very much. All right, she says that days, or the days when women could have felt that they are very oppressed are gone, and she's challenging women to especially take up opportunities that are available. She says, or she argues, that there's 30% that is available for women, be it in government, even banks or financial institutions are a bit more open now than before, and so she says that a lot of women should actually step out. But she brings out a very critical point, saying that a lot of women out there do not have this information, and therefore they're not able to actually access the available opportunities for them, capitalize on them, and actually make profit, or actually be able to start businesses to better their lives. Back to you in studio from Nyeri County, I'm Martin Munene.
Thank you, Martin Munene, and of course telling us about the experiences of Gandu, the aggressive Gandu, and she says that many people don't have access to information. Penny told us that the information is out here, so it appears there's a gap of how to access that information. But let's focus on something very critical when it comes to running businesses, and we can benefit from your advice or from your experience, because many people will get into business because of circumstances that force them into them, and they are torn between doing business as individuals or doing business through entities. And once you register an entity, there are certain responsibilities. So from your experience, what works better as you start small going up?
I think going the full, if you do things half-half, you'll just get half-half results. So you should register your business, because there will come a point when not having a registered business becomes a negative for you. Like, for example, accessing some opportunities, they'll be like, where is your registration? Where is this? Who are you? You don't exist as an entity, because the business registration and me as Chebet are two different people. We're actually people.
Persons, yes.
Yeah, persons, yeah. So it is important to just go the whole way, and yeah, that's what I would suggest.
And how do you separate? Because again, the reality on the ground is that there are more people doing business as individuals than the registered entities. So how do you separate money for business and money for your household, yet you still have needs to run your household?
Yeah, I mean, that has been especially hard during COVID, because then you have reduced incomes, you have more responsibilities, people losing jobs, and they need help, you know, like, at the end of the day, it goes to discipline and personal discipline between what is for the business and what is mine. I have learned this the long way. It has taken me a long time to be able to create clear lines, because sometimes I might have my own, you know, money that is not from Wazawazee, and I will use it in Wazawazee without even thinking about it. I'll be like, but we need leather, we need glue, we need to pay people, so there it goes. So just developing systems. I think at the end of it, it's about systems and processes, and that allow you to separate yourself, and that the business runs whether or not you're there. I am really trying to get there. I'm not yet perfect, but at least I have the awareness that we must have systems that work all the time for us and for the business.
And you advocate for entities registration. What are some of those responsibilities, so that whoever is listening can know that as you register, this is what you must do?
Yeah, well, I don't think you even have a choice. I think after 6 months or 2 years, I'm not sure, I just registered a business from the get-go. But after a certain point, you are legally required to register, sign up for tax, because otherwise then you create a new level of exposure that you are running away. And that's the worst thing, because when KRA comes and you are trying to hide, or all these other entities whose job is to register all existing businesses, you get into trouble. So yes, it is good to start as an individual, but the law requires that after a certain point you must register. It isn't that you are going to be making, you know, unnecessary payments to government and all that, but for you to operate, you need to be part of that conducive environment, and that involves, you know, registering your business. There will be responsibility whether or not you register as a business or not, because of the time cap of you operating as an individual.
I'm asking that because obviously the registration fees, then there's the license fees. If you are whichever local authority you're dealing with, there would be levies and taxes. Maybe you can just briefly tell us about that.
Again, you are existing in a space that has laws, rules, and that if you want to play in that game, you're in business, then you must comply. It's like a business input, right? It's the same way buying, if you have a food business, buying food, potatoes in the morning is an input so that I might be able to sell chips or whatever it is that I sell, right? So paying for this taxes, licenses, all those things, city council, whatever, it's part of the deal. You cannot, it's like impossible.
How many years have you been doing this now?
8 years.
8 years. And also, looking ahead, what are you seeing as the prospects?
I have always intended to create an international brand, and as far as I'm concerned, we are heading there, hook, crook or sinker. So my prospects are global, always local. We always will be local. By the way, I was the first person to put flags on made in Kenya products because I had an Italian customer who said, if you said that this bag was made anywhere else, you would be able to sell it more. So first of all, you're talking to a Kenyan. You obviously have a certain low opinion of me that you can say, you know what, it's too good to be from here. Kenya. Say that it's from, and that was the first day I bought the flag and put it on the product. So the intention is to sell. I have always said telling the African story.
Right.
And I'm happy to say that we have done that because we have a bag everywhere in the world, including Iceland.
Wow, amazing. Let's take a look at some of the feedback that we've been sending to us via Citizen TV Kenya. If we can have that and read them as you talk about women in business. The conversation continues, but Jacob Abere says that in Kenya, business opportunities are many in SMEs. Women tops in human resources pool. Challenges are in financing, either through commercial banks, stable banking, and merry-go-rounds that have stringent policies, securities, high interest rates, and grace period. Let's talk about the challenges in financing. Again, you said that what policymakers need to come up with is hybrid systems that engage them in funding, research work, loss control mechanisms, and lastly, looking for market locally and overseas, like how China and India does for its women who have invested in cottage industries. Of course, setting us your views on how this can be expanded. So, your final word on what you'll be telling the women out here who are in desire to make some more money. What
I would say to women or anyone for that matter who wants to get into business, I say jump, go ahead. It's not easy. I think of all the things I've ever done in my life, being an entrepreneur continues to be the hardest, yet I still stick around. So it means that the drive in me or in someone needs to be greater than a fleeting need, you know, that I saw someone doing well in this, so I should try it. No, it needs to be a greater desire, and my desire is to create value, create beautiful products, and take them to the world. And about financing, sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes you have other things going for you that is not money, e.g. your networks, your thought process, your connection, you know, like this. What is it that you have? I like what Oprah says, what is my next best move? So if I sit here and I'm going through a challenge as an entrepreneur, I always try and just revert back to the next best move. And often it is not money based.
Right.
It could be calling a mentor and the value of mentorship cannot be understated. But a mentor might just, give you ideas, and then you start seeing things differently, and then you're out of that panic state of mind, because everything is a state of mind, and you redirect yourself, and you're able to stay to fight another day.
Right.
Yeah.
Chebet Mutai, thank you so much from Wazawazee, and all the best in your prospects and whatever you continue to do in the business world.
Thank you.
And of course, next time we hope that Yvonne Okwara Matole will be back. She'll be talking about the gifting industry, the opportunities and the value in that sector. So stay tuned for that. My name is Sam Gituku. Asante sana. See you some other time. Bye for now.